Hello and welcome to this course on LinkedIn advertising. In this course, we're going to cover how to increase your reach with LinkedIn. This course is divided into 3 modules. Module 1 covers getting started with Campaign Manager. Module 2 covers creating the actual ad. And Module 3 covers targeting and budgets. By the time this course is over, you'll know how to effectively use LinkedIn advertisements for your business. So without further ado, let's dive into the first module. Okay, guys, welcome to Module 1. In this module, our expert will show you how to get started with Campaign Manager. So get ready to take some notes and let's jump right in.
Alright, so let's get started with creating our Campaign Manager account. First of all, what is a Campaign Manager account and why would you want one? A Campaign Manager account gives you access to LinkedIn's Campaign Manager. The Campaign Manager tool will then allow you to create ads, like this. So you can advertise on LinkedIn. If you want to advertise on LinkedIn, you'll need a Campaign Manager account. You can think of it as an advertiser's account. Now, the cool thing about a Campaign Manager account is that it comes with a regular account. You don't need to create another account. You just need to log into your LinkedIn profile, as I did here. This is just an ordinary LinkedIn account. To create your Campaign Manager account, just click on Work, then Advertise. Since I am a new advertiser, LinkedIn needs some information before it can create my Campaign Manager account. The first is the account name, to help you identify this account, as you can create multiple ad accounts. The second one is the currency you will use. Take note that this is permanent. You cannot change it once you set it, so be careful. However, you can create a second ad account with a different currency if you plan to use multiple currencies. Finally, you can connect a LinkedIn page to your ad account, which is optional but highly recommended, as it allows your ad to appear in the newsfeed as sponsored content, like this one. But for now, I will not connect a page. Finish up by clicking on Create Account. So here is LinkedIn's Campaign Manager. If you've never used a similar tool before, it can look overwhelming. So let's break it down a bit. There are 3 main tabs. The first is Accounts, as you can have multiple ad accounts. The second is Campaigns, which you cannot access yet without selecting an ad account. The third is Ads. If you want to create another ad account, just click here on Create Account. Existing ad accounts will appear here. If you have a lot of ad accounts, this list will be more populated. Currently, I only have one. By hovering your cursor over the account name, you can either edit it or view its performance. Clicking on it will open up the Campaign Groups tab. Campaign groups are just a way for you to organize your campaigns. It can prevent things from getting out of hand. A campaign group can have different campaigns under it, and it's up to you on how you want to structure your various campaigns. Here you can find the group name, the status. Active means you have it enabled, but it's not running. It hasn't received a go signal from LinkedIn. Just hover your cursor in the small eye icon for more information. Here's the money you spent on advertising, using the currency you selected. The impressions, or how many times the ad has been viewed. Clicks, how many times have people clicked on the ad. The average click-through rate. Average cost per 1,000 impressions. Average CPC. And so on. Above, you'll find controls to drill down anything you want to find. So for example, I can just view data from the past 30 days, or from a specific range. And I can also sort the data in a descending or ascending manner. You can also export this data as a spreadsheet for further analysis. Just click on Export. Select the data you want and export. Think of these three tabs as zooming in, going from something generic to more specific. As previously mentioned, a campaign group will have one or more campaigns under it. A campaign will have one or more ads under it. Campaigns have the same controls as campaign groups. So again, you can sort by descending or ascending order. You can apply filters. You can select specific date ranges. And you can search by campaign name. And you can search by campaign name if you have a lot of campaigns. Ads are also pretty much the same, with more or less columns. Going up, you will find website demographics. This is similar to Google Analytics. It basically reveals statistics about your website. And like Google Analytics, you have to install something first before it becomes available. In this case, they're calling it the Insight tag. Beside the website demographics is the account assets. These are tools that are valuable to creating and managing ads on LinkedIn. And last but not least, the universal symbol for settings, the gear icon. Clicking on it will allow you to customize a few things relating to your account. Oh, and one final thing. You need a credit card to run ads on LinkedIn, as that is how you will pay them. And that's our short tour and overview of LinkedIn's Campaign Manager. In the next video, we'll be creating our first ad. So thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.
Hey folks, welcome to Module 2. In this module, our expert will cover creating the actual ad. So get ready to take some notes, and let's jump right in.
Let's start with creating an actual LinkedIn ad. So, from the Campaign Manager, click on Create Campaign here on the upper right, as everything starts with a campaign. Start by specifying where to group this campaign. Click on the pencil icon and choose where to put this under. Then give your campaign a good name. You don't want it to be Untitled Campaign, as it's not a descriptive title. Alright, the first thing you need to decide is the objective. What do you want to accomplish with this campaign? Is it awareness? Do you want more people to know about your business? Or is it traffic? Hits? Or maybe you want more leads or website conversions? This is a very important step, and I suggest you take some time before deciding, as this will be the overall goal of your campaign. You are telling LinkedIn how you want your campaign to be handled. But let's say I have a new business, and so currently no one knows about it, and I want some exposure. So I choose brand awareness. This is LinkedIn telling you how it will handle your campaign. Your campaign will be shown to people most likely to view your ads. That makes sense, as my objective is to get exposure for my new business. Next stop is Audience. Who are the people I want to see my ad? So I click here in Audiences, and I can select certain groups of people. So let's say my new business helps companies to hire the right candidates for their job openings. HR might be a good start. After I've selected my target audience, I have to choose a target location. This does not apply to all ads, but let's say my new business will only cater to the Asian market, so I choose Asia. I also have the option to exclude certain locations if needed. So for example, I don't want my ad to be shown in Latin America, so I make sure it's excluded. My ad is in English, so I don't have to change anything here. This is where you can be as detailed as you want. Who's your target audience? Who are the people you want to see your ad? Click on Narrow Audience further to target certain people. Here in Audience Attributes, you can target people based on their companies, demographics like age or gender, education, job experience, or interests. So let's say I want people working in HR to see my ad. So I click on Job Experience. Then I click on Job Titles and type HR and select HR Manager. These are also good suggestions, so I'm going to add them. You can see how powerful this tool is, as you can get as specific as you want. It's also a good idea to actually have your ideal audience in mind as you go through this. So for example, let's say I want clients who are from small to medium companies only. So I add another requirement. Aside from being in human resources, I also want people from small companies. So I click on Narrow Audience further again. Then company size, and maybe 11 to 50, and then 51 to 200 employees. Again, I can exclude certain people if required. Enable audience expansion means you want LinkedIn to automatically extend your targeted audience if it cannot find enough people. It is recommended to keep this checked, as the more people your ad reaches, the better. If you plan to use this audience again for a future campaign, click on Save as Template so you don't have to repeat this step again. Before we continue with creating our ad, we need to talk about the types of ads that appear on LinkedIn. First is the sponsored content. This is an example of a sponsored ad, and it appears on the newsfeed. This is probably the most effective type of ad, as the chance of someone seeing it and consuming the ad is quite high. Second are text ads. These are ads in text form. Third are sponsored in-mail ads. These are ads that appear in your message inbox. Another effective type of an ad, as it is very direct. However, be careful, as we have been conditioned to ignore spam that appear in our inboxes, like email. Fourth are dynamic ads or customized ads. These ads will vary with each person. They are usually used for job recruiting and are quite personal. Fifth are display ads. They are ads in image form. Now that we know the various types of LinkedIn ads, we can continue making our ad. Ad format. This is where you choose what type of ad you want. It can be a single image ad, it can be a carousel, or a series of pictures, a video ad, or a video, a text ad, a spotlight ad, or a follower ad. These three types will show up in the newsfeed, while text ads are usually on the top or right of the website. So let's say I will create a single image ad. As mentioned in a previous video, certain types of ads require a LinkedIn company page. This is where you put in the URL of that page. Other ads like text ads do not require a company page. Do note that depending on the ad format, there will be features that are enabled or disabled, like in this case. So let's go back to a single image ad. We are almost done creating our ad, but let us take a break here, as that is a lot of information to digest. So thanks for watching, and in the next video, we will wrap things up and finish our LinkedIn ad. See you there.
All right, welcome to Module 3. In this module, our expert will teach you about targeting and ad budgets. So get ready to take some notes, and let's jump right in.
Let's pick up from where we left off last time and continue making our ad. Placement. LinkedIn Audience Network. The LinkedIn Audience Network are places outside the website where your ad can appear. Third-party partners of LinkedIn. I would recommend leaving this checked, as I said before, the more people who see your ad, the better. Budget and schedule. Budget. A daily budget is how much are you willing to spend daily, while a total budget is how much do you want to spend overall. This is totally up to personal preference, as I am not aware of your financial constraints for advertising. Schedule. It is recommended to choose the first option, run campaign continuously from start date. The second option is mostly used for promotions with a start and end date, like a 3-day sale for example. Bid type. The recommended setting is automatic bid, and let LinkedIn handle it. Conversion tracking. This is when you want to know how many conversions this ad got. How many people bought from your online store? How many people signed up for your newsletter? And so on. Then click on Next to go to the next page. Then click Save again. Now that we're done creating a campaign, it's time to add ads to this campaign. So click on Create New Ad. This is where you upload the image of your ad. So click on Upload Image and choose your ad. Type in an eye-catching headline, one that will make someone stop scrolling and read. Type in a corresponding description. Once you get their attention with a headline, follow it up and tell them what you want them to do. The destination URL is where you want someone to go after reading your ad. This usually points to your own website. On the right is the preview pane, where you get to see what your ad will look like. Click on the little circles below to see how your ad appears in other forms. Once you are happy with your ad, click on Create. If you want to create more ads, just click on Create New Ad here in the upper right corner. That second ad will appear beneath this first ad. You can also make changes to existing ads by clicking on the 3 dots here, as well as duplicate an ad, in case you want to make a similar ad with only few differences. On the right are the forecasted results. This is LinkedIn's best guess on how your ad will perform. From experience, this is about 90% accurate, so you can use this as a guide on what things to change in your ad for better results. When you're ready, click on Launch Campaign to publish your ad. And that is how you make a LinkedIn ad for your business. Again, thank you for watching, and I wish you success in advertising on LinkedIn.
Hello, and welcome to this course on LinkedIn marketing. In this course, we're going to cover how to increase your reach with organic LinkedIn marketing. This course is divided into 3 modules. Module 1 is a brief overview of LinkedIn. Module 2 covers setting up and using a LinkedIn business account. And Module 3 covers leveraging personal profiles and groups. By the time this course is over, you'll know how to effectively use LinkedIn for your business. So, without further ado, let's dive into the first module. Okay guys, welcome to Module 1. In this module, our expert will give a brief overview of LinkedIn. So get ready to take some notes and let's jump right in.
Okay guys, so let's get started with this LinkedIn overview. So LinkedIn is a professional networking site for people who want to make business connections, share their work experiences, and also find jobs. So LinkedIn is free, but they have a subscription version called LinkedIn Premium that offers additional features like online classes, seminars, and insights where you can see who is searching or viewing your profile. Alright, so now let's have a quick tour of LinkedIn. At the upper right side of your screen, you'll see the search bar. This is where you can search for people, jobs, companies, and so on to find network to connect with. Beside the search bar is the Home tab, which is basically the LinkedIn news feed equivalent of Facebook. This is where you can see posts from other LinkedIn users. And on the left-hand side panel, you will see a glimpse of your profile. It has your logo, your profile name, and a short description. You also have the number of connections, who's viewed your profile, your saved items, and the next section is about your recent searches, your groups, your events, and your followed hashtags. So you can minimize it just by clicking the arrow here. So you have the option to also start a post by sharing an image, a video, or sharing a document. You can also write an article. This is the equivalent of writing a blog. The next tab is the My Network tab. This is where you'll find existing people in your network. The first section is for any open invitation that you may have, followed by the section from people who you have mutual connections. We also have the trending pages of brands that you can follow, and the hashtags are keywords that you can follow. At the bottom part, you'll see more suggestions for you. So these are the people or groups that you can connect with. Let's talk about the next tab, which is the Jobs tab. So you can track your jobs and write your career interests here at the top part. And if you're looking for talents, or if you are a headhunter, you can post a job just by clicking this button, Post a Job, and you will be redirected to the job posting page. If you're interested to search for jobs, just type in the keyword or select from the suggested keywords here that will show up. Select a location and then hit the search button. So you will be redirected to the job listing. The next section shows job listing based on your profile. So these are the companies looking for talents that matches your qualifications or whatever specialization you have put on your profile. Now let's talk about the next tab, which is the messaging tab. Here you can chat with people in your network. You can also send messages to people outside your network using InMail. So InMail is one of the features that you can get when you subscribe to LinkedIn Premium. The next tab is the Notifications tab. This is where you'll see the activities of people in your network. Now let's check out the Profile tab. The Profile tab, once you click the drop-down button, shows you your logo, your profile. You have your account settings here, and you also have your job posting account here. So the View Profile will redirect you to your profile page. This is where you can showcase your brand and personality. You can add information just like what you would write in a resume. So include your background, your skills, accomplishments, and so on. You also have the option to request a recommendation from your connections here at the Additional Information option. You can also add your profile in another language so that local businesses can connect with you. Now, let's have a quick look at how the profile page looks like from a visitor's perspective. So you'll see your cover image here. You also have your logo, your name, your current position, your location, the number of your connections. The next section is your about page, your dashboard, and then your experience, the skills and endorsements that you'd like to show your potential recruiter. The last tab is the Work tab. Once you click the Work tab, this is where you can see and explore other LinkedIn products such as learning, groups, SlideShare, and other business services that LinkedIn offer.
Hey folks, welcome to Module 2. In this module, our expert will cover setting up and using a LinkedIn business account. So get ready to take some notes and let's jump right in.
Alright guys, so let's get started with actually using LinkedIn for business. Let's start first by creating a simple company page. Click the Work tab at the upper right corner of your screen, then scroll down to the option that says Create a Company Page. Once that's selected, you will be redirected to the page type option. So select the page type that you want to create. For this example, let's use small business. Once selected, we are now ready to input our page information. Type the company name. You'll notice that it automatically fills in the LinkedIn public URL. Next, type your website URL if you have one. Remember that having a website helps you establish credibility as a business. The next section is our company details. Select the appropriate industry for your business. Next, the company size, and then the company type. The last section is the logo and the company tagline field. Adding a company logo optimizes our LinkedIn page. According to recent LinkedIn data, companies with logos get 6 times more traffic on their page, so don't forget to add your logo. Once that's all set, tick the verification box and then click Create Page. This is how the admin page looks like. Let's explore the menus. The first menu has 4 tabs. We have the page, content suggestions. We also have the analytics and the activity tab. On the right side, you will see the admin tools where we can see the page admin options. This is where we can add people to manage our page. Next, we have the public URL where we can change our LinkedIn handle. Next, we can post a job as a page and create showcase page. We also have the option to deactivate our company page at the last part. The next section are reminders of what we need to accomplish for our page to be optimized. Remember that completed pages get 30% more traffic. So we still need to complete our location, and we also need to do our first post to increase engagement to our page. And the last one is we need to participate in topics by adding hashtags to our post. The next section is the overview of our company page. We have the cover photo, our logo, our company name, our tagline, and the link to our website. The next section is the analytics where we can see our visitors from trending articles that we have created. We have the followers, our post impressions, custom button clicks, and then the middle section is where we can start posting by uploading an image, a video, or a document. After that is the update section where we can see our activities. And then on the right, we have the community hashtags and also the featured groups. So groups are like meeting rooms or forums where people with similar interests can discuss topics they want to share or learn. Participating in groups allows you to showcase your expertise and grow your relationship with like-minded people. Now let's see how our page looks like from a member view. Click the button that says View as a Member at the upper right corner of your screen. And here is how it looks like. So there are 5 tabs on the left, and the center box has our page overview. Now that we have our company page, we are now ready to engage and make connections. The first step you can do is to invite your employees to follow your company's page. You can do this by sharing your personalized LinkedIn URL. Again, just go to Admin Tools, then click Public URL. You can simply copy this and share this to your employees. The next step is to post content. You can start by sharing news articles about your company or anything related to your industry. Let's do an example. I'll be posting this article about 12 digital marketing trends and innovations for 2020. Just copy the link and click Start Post. Paste the link. Replace it with a meaningful description. For example, check out Then don't forget to include your hashtags. Then click Post. Next, let's post a video. You can choose a video from your company's website, or you can choose a video content related to your industry. Remember, LinkedIn members spend 3 times more time watching videos compared to a static content. For example, I want to share this video. Just click again Start Post, paste the link, and then add a meaningful description. For example, more leads this 2020. And don't forget to include your hashtags, then click Post. Let's explore what other contents we can share on our page. I visited a page similar to my industry. We can share contents about our current promotion, our company and employee activities. Remember to limit your post to once every week. You can increase this once you gain more followers.
All right, welcome to Module 3. In this module, our expert will teach you about leveraging personal profiles and groups. So get ready to take some notes, and let's jump right in.
Okay, so let's get started with how to use personal profiles and groups in your marketing efforts. Once you sign up for LinkedIn and create a profile, you can start to build a network of contacts. But remember to optimize your profile page. Let's look at an example. In our example, start by adding a professional photo of you. This is an opportunity to make a good impression. Use a high-resolution image and never upload a cropped photo. Next, add a cover photo. Think about a professional story that you want to tell your audience. Do not just pick a random image. Remember that anything that you put on your profile page can be a reflection of you or your brand. Next, we have the About section. This is your introduction card. You can write a short summary of your professional background and abilities to get noticed by potential business network. Aside from posts, we can increase engagement by writing articles and sharing our activities. This makes our profile interesting, and people are always drawn to stories. You can share all this information at the article section here. The last 2 sections you can use to collaborate are the skills and endorsements and the recommendation section. This is a great way to exchange ideas and interact with your network while building your profile credibility. Another way you can build connections is by adding people from your network. Networking doesn't only mean reaching out to cold strangers, but you can start from people you already know and trust. Check out your My Network tab for contacts you may already know. Lastly, let's talk about groups. Social media as we know it is changing. So instead of building huge public pages, more and more businesses are opting for niche closed communities. This is because group is a place where more meaningful content and discussions are given priority. To create a successful group, start by picking a topic that your audience cares about. Then, go to My Network tab, and then click the Groups tab on the left side. After that, click the Create a New Group button at the upper right side of the screen. Upload a cover photo and a group photo, then type in your group name, your group description, and your group rules. Finally, select the privacy type. Standard privacy type allows your group to appear on search results, while the unlisted type is a group by invitation only. Once all is set, click the Create button. This is how the group page looks like on the admin's page. You have the group information on the left box with the month and year it was created, the number of pending posts, and the member request, the option to manage a membership, and an option to edit the group details. The center box is where you can start a group conversation exclusive for members only. On the left side, you'll see the number of members and an option to invite additional members as well as the other group details. Now let's find a group to join. Let's use the search bar to find groups about digital marketing. Here are all the list of groups about marketing. You can see how detailed their group names are. Just below the group title, you'll see the number of members and the description of the group. Once you've decided to join a group, just click the Request to Join button and wait for the group admin to accept your request. Don't forget to read the group rules so as not to be kicked out from the group.
Hello and welcome to this course on paid traffic. In this course, we're going to cover how to increase your sales by leveraging paid traffic methods. This course is divided into 3 modules. Module 1 covers running Facebook ad campaigns. Module 2 covers search advertising campaigns on Google. And Module 3 teaches you how to create and run banner ads. By the time this course is over, you'll know how to effectively funnel paid traffic to your business. So, without further ado, let's dive into the first module. Okay guys, welcome to Module 1. In this module, our expert will cover running Facebook ad campaigns. So, get ready to take some notes and let's jump right in.
All right, so when we first create our Facebook ad, we're going to be prompted to choose a marketing objective. Now, there's a whole bunch of objectives to choose from here. Facebook has made it really easy based on your campaign goals to pick one. Let's just go through a few of these. Brand awareness. This is more about getting your image, your identity out there to as many people as possible and making sure that they're aware, top of mind, that your brand exists. It's not particularly tangible results driven, okay? It's mostly to ensure that your name, your identity, is in the minds of people. Reach is very impression heavy, okay? It's all about showing the ad visually to as many people as possible, not necessarily about getting them to go somewhere and take a specific action. Now, these certainly have their place. They can be very useful if you're starting a company and you want to increase people's awareness of your brand. Most people are going to be doing Facebook ads in these 2 areas, though. Now, consideration includes, as an umbrella sort of, all of these different areas. Traffic, the basic meat and potatoes concept of sending people to a web property, if you will. Engagement has to do with getting people to actually like or comment or respond to your ad in some way, shape, or form, the actual post itself. App installs is self-explanatory. If you're doing an actual app, you want people to install it. Video views. Very self-explanatory here. However, it's important to point out, remember, these are just objectives. You're not necessarily choosing the type of ad. So you can have any of these ads be video ads, okay, but your goal is not necessarily to maximize video views in those. Whereas in this case, by choosing this one, you'd be telling Facebook that's your goal, is you want to go after as many people viewing your videos as possible. Lead generation, building your list, self-explanatory. Messages, really tapping into Facebook's Messenger ad abilities. Conversions is a very popular one. Okay, as you get a little bit more advanced, you're going to be installing tracking pixels on your web properties and actually optimizing your ads for conversions. Specifically, people taking the actions that you want them to take. Catalog sales is an interesting one, especially if you're in the e-commerce place. It'll automatically show items from your available collection of offerings to your potential customers. And then store traffic literally has to do with foot traffic, people actually coming to a physical brick and mortar location. Eventually, you're most likely going to be focusing on conversions. If you go down the path of Facebook ads. Let's start off, since we're just starting from scratch and we want to keep things relatively basic, let's just go with the meat and potatoes traffic objective. Now, the special ad category box that pops up right here, if you're doing anything related to credit, employment, or housing, there's special factors that need to be taken into consideration there. We're going to say no. In fact, we're going to say that we're doing a diabetes related product today, just for the sake of example. We're going to come down here. You can name your campaign. We'll just leave it as traffic. A/B split testing is a very cool, more recent feature. Back in the day, you used to have to run a whole bunch of different ads, ad groups, and ad campaigns, and then you would have to do the math yourself, so to speak, comparing and contrasting the results of each of them. And now Facebook has built in A/B split testing abilities, which is very cool. And then campaign budget optimization is exactly what it sounds like. It's a little bit more of an advanced feature, which we're not going to touch right now. Let's head over to the next page. Now we can name our ad set here. We'll just leave it with the default naming convention here. There's a real science in terms of naming conventions when you're creating multiple ads or multiple ad sets within a campaign or multiple campaigns. Every company has their own sort of process for naming things so that it becomes more easy to analyze and manage their ads. For now, we'll just leave it with the default US 18 plus, which is based on the default demographic, which is United States and 18 plus. Dynamic creative is a very cool new concept. It has to do with actually personalizing ads for people who are seeing them based on who they are. Skipped one here, traffic. Of course, we're just going for website traffic. We're not looking to do any of the cooler advanced stuff with WhatsApp, Messenger, or sending people to a mobile app or something like that. Very cool stuff. We're going to stick with the bare bones, sending traffic to a website for now. Then we've got this one here. Another of the more newer features that Facebook has come out with, where you can actually create an offer that people can save and then get reminded about inside of their Facebook account later on. We'll leave that set to off as well. So now we're really getting into the core of the ad. We don't have any existing audiences, so we're going to create our own custom audience from scratch here. Location, self-explanatory. You can really get into the weeds and get all the way down to specific counties in the United States if you wanted to. You could create basically a certain mile radius around a specific pin on the map if you wanted to, if you really knew your audience that well. The demographic that we're going after with a diabetes product, however, just to stick with our example, it probably applies nationwide, so there's no reason to drill any deeper than that. Let's say that we had demographic information, though, about age. Let's say that based on our research, the people most likely to purchase a product in this category, people struggling with weight and diabetes and so on and so forth, are 30 plus. We would choose the age right here. Genders, if we wanted to focus one campaign on males and one campaign on females because of, let's say, the images that we'll be using in our ads or data that we saw that indicates that women are more likely to purchase this type of product, so on and so forth. All of this kind of depends on doing your audience research, doing your due diligence and all that before you start creating the ad. We'll go ahead and go with women just so we can see what the impact is on audience size. And then we'll move into detailed targeting. Now, this has to do with choosing specific interests, behaviors, demographics based on all the data that Facebook has curated on each of its users. It's kind of a scary amount of data, but it's very, very valuable to you as a marketer. You could browse based on broad topics regarding interests and demographics, education levels, data about parents, behaviors, purchasing behaviors, how much money people make, that kind of stuff. But in our case, let's go straight into looking for people who are interested in diabetes. There's a good chance if they've interacted with this type of content on Facebook before, they're going to be very interested in this topic. So let's go ahead and go with this, looks like type 2 awareness topic. All right, now we can see we've narrowed down based on our age, our location, our gender, and that one interest. We've narrowed it down to 5,400,000 potential people who could see our ad in the future. And we could theoretically drill down even further if we wanted to. In this case, let's go ahead and expand the audience. American Diabetes Association. That could add, there's probably some overlap there, so you won't see a big increase. Okay, but it did add a good chunk of people there. And then if you wanted to, beyond that, you could narrow the audience by using AND logic. So you could come over here and let's say dieting. Let's say that we wanted people who fit this category, so the 5,700,000 who have these two interests, but we also want them to be interested in gluten-free diets. So that narrowed it down to 1,800,000. So rather than just adding this up here, which would have used OR logic, meaning anybody who's interested in this or this or this, by narrowing, using the narrowing option, it's AND logic, which means it must also match this. So they have to be in this category and, or one of these two categories, and have this interest as well. So it's a great way to sort of narrow down your audience. We're not doing a gluten-free diet product. We're going to pretend for the sake of this example that we are selling, let's say, blood glucose monitors. Okay. And we're actually happy with this. This is actually a good, large, sizable, very well targeted chunk of the United States that we can show our ad to. Now, continuing on down here to placements, Facebook is pretty smart. It understands where people are most likely to click on ads and, where your ads might perform really well. It gets more smart the more ads you've actually had and the more of an audience that you've interacted with your ads on Facebook. It slowly starts to learn and so on and so forth. For this one, since we're starting from scratch and we just want to show off the options here, let's go ahead and specify that we only want it to appear in people's Facebook news feeds. Okay, as a native ad. So we're going to basically turn off everything here except for Facebook news feed. We'll turn off all the stories related stuff. We'll turn off the in-stream video ads, turn off the search result ads. Messages are already turned off. In-article ads turned off, and all the apps and sites options are turned off as well. And so now we literally just have the news feed ad as our only place where it's going to show up. And we can come on down here, and now let's talk about the different budget and scheduling options. So there's 4 different optimization options that are going to kind of broadly affect how Facebook shows your ads to how many people per day and that sort of things. We're going to go with landing page views. Okay, we want people who are more likely to click and actually wait for the website or the landing page, the lead page, whatever it is, to load and actually look at your page. Link clicks is really all about the clicks. It's not very much concerned with what happens, what the traffic does after it gets to your site. Daily unique reach is going to limit the amount of times that someone sees your ad to once per day. And then impressions just means show it to as many people as possible. Make it technically a view in their newsfeed. Even if they didn't really stop and look at it too much, they just kind of scrolled through the newsfeed. You want to make sure that they see it as much as possible in their newsfeed. You would optimize for impressions. We're going to go with landing page views here. Cost control is a useful feature if you've really mapped out and done the math on your marketing campaign. Let's say you figured out your average order value for someone who comes through your funnel, and based on that, you figured out how much you make per lead who becomes a customer, and you figured out what your conversion rates are, and that sort of gives you an idea of how much you can spend or afford to spend in order to make someone turn into a lead, and how much you can afford to spend per visitor to your site. And let's say that based on all of that data, you know that you can only afford to spend $3 per person. You could put that number right here and ensure that Facebook does not charge more than that amount per landing page view. Budget and schedule here, there's a very important distinction to make, and that is that your daily budget doesn't literally mean that only $20 will be spent. Some days you might spend 30, some days you might spend 10. What it means is that over the course of the lifetime of the ad, the total amount spent during the lifetime of the ad will only equal an average of 20 per day when you average it out, okay? So the actual amount that you spend per day here might actually vary, and just be aware of that. And here it will actually tell you that per week it'll cap out at 140. So let's go ahead and click continue. Let's say we're happy with our targeting and the placement of our ad and all that good stuff. Let's hit continue. That'll actually bring us to the ad creative portion of this whole journey here. We're going to create an ad from scratch because it's our first time. And we've got 3 to choose from here because of the placement options that we chose. We chose news feed only, if you'll recall. And these are the 3 options that we've got, which include carousel, which is basically images or videos, multiple per ad that people can swipe or scroll through. We've got the collection one, which is a more advanced full screen mobile experience with a whole bunch of items that you can add to one ad. Then you've got the single image or single video, which is what we are going to be going with. And we can come over here to add media to choose that image. And the whole idea behind an image really is to stop the scroll. You're not really trying to put a whole bunch of information or text into the image. It's not like a newspaper ad or a banner ad in the strict sense or in the traditional sense. In fact, Facebook will actually penalize you for putting too much text into your ads. You really just want to use the ad image to get people to stop and notice the ad. Stop swiping while they're going through their news feed and so on and so forth. And then the copy, okay, the actual text of your post does the job of selling, okay, so not the image. Now we're going to go ahead and use the built-in stock photo search, which we're allowed to use here inside of Facebook ads, powered by Shutterstock. And let's go ahead and just type in diabetes and see if we can find something relevant. And look at that, we've got multiple relevant images. I'm pretty sure this one here is an image of a blood glucose monitor. And so let's go ahead and say that that's what that is and choose that image there. And it'll show us a preview of what it looks like both on desktop and mobile newsfeed right here. And now we're really getting into the actual selling. Okay, so the primary text of the ad, the actual ad copy. We've got the description, which is optional. Okay, a small amount of text which appears underneath the headline. So if we were to put that here, it basically acts in a certain way as a sub-headline underneath your main headline. Your headline here could be new glucose monitor, and then you'd put all of your sales copy about your product right here. Hopefully you'll figure out what your sales copy is before you even start creating the ad. I'm just going to paste some generic text about what to look for in a blood glucose monitor here, and we'll pretend that that's legitimate ad copy for now. And then of course you've got the actual URL, so let's say https glucose diabetes Facebook.com, which don't go there. That might actually be a real site, so not an endorsement of that product if it does exist. And now let's check out our finalized preview images here. So this is what it'll look like on the desktop news feed, which you've probably seen this type of thing 1,000 times. Looks like just a regular native post, but you've got the little sponsored thing there and the learn more buttons right here. And your call to action, by the way, can change if you want to change it to apply now or book now or watch or contact us or something along those lines. Sign up, subscribe, lots of options there. And we'll just leave it with the default learn more. And then you've got your tracking pixels that you want to associate this with. We're going to pretend that we're not using one yet since we're starting out from scratch here, but ideally you would go into your Facebook ads manager and grab your tracking pixel and have that on all of your relevant pages so you can track basically the behavior and analyze what your traffic is doing once they click on this ad and go to your web properties. And that is pretty much it. Our ad is ready to go. So we've got the ad creative, the sales copy, we've got our placement selected, we've got the budgeting and all that good stuff, the targeting figured out. We're targeting a chunk of the U.S. population, focusing on females who have an interest in diabetes-related content and are, if I recall, it was age 30 plus. And we could hit confirm here, and our ad would go out there into people's news feeds and start bringing us some traffic. So that's it for Facebook ads. Let's move into the next module where we're going to be looking at search advertising.
Hey folks, welcome to Module 2. In this module, our expert will cover search advertising campaigns on Google. So get ready to take some notes and let's jump right in.
All right, so when we first create a Google ad campaign, we're going to be asked to choose a goal. Now, a goal is not a campaign type or an ad type. There's several different types. In fact, if you hover over, you'll see under each one down here, there's several types of campaign types or types of ads that can correspond with these goals. The whole purpose of choosing a goal is so that Google knows by what metric, by what measure you're going to judge the success of your campaign. What are you really going after here? Do you want people to buy things? That would be sales. Do you want people to opt in and build a list? That would be leads. Website traffic, all you care about is clicks and visitors to a web property. Product and brand consideration here, just encouraging people to look further at your offerings. Brand awareness and reach, just getting your identity and your brand and your image out there in front of as many people as possible so that they're aware, they've got that top of mind awareness that you exist. Then you've got app promotion, which is specifically tied into getting people to download and install an app. And then you've got create a campaign without a goals guidance. Now, this is not really advised unless you're a little bit more advanced and you know Google Ads like the back of your hand. It's best to choose one of these presets when you're starting out here. So we're going to say we're going after sales. Okay, we want people to buy. We'll stick with the example from the previous module. Let's say we're selling a diabetes-related product. We want people to buy that product, click through and purchase. Now, for this module, all we really care about is search. Display, shopping, video, smart ads, discovery ads, these are all really great. There's a whole lot of potential here inside of the Google Ads universe. But we're going to focus on search ads, which means literally those things that look like search results at the very top of the search results page, but they say ad or sponsored right underneath them. Now, what we're focusing on for reaching our goal is going to be website visits. Let's say we're doing e-com. We're not actually looking for people to show up at a physical address. We're not looking for people to, call our business, and we're not looking for app downloads. So for this, we'll put in our website, which I've just made this up, diabetesbegone.com. We'll hit continue. I don't know if that's a real website or not. And here we have an option under networks to choose just search or search with a little bit of display network, which will basically take your textual ads and display them in the place of display network ads around the internet. We're going to turn that one off. It has its merits, but we're trying to stay nice and simple and focus just on search engine result pages for this example that we're doing. Locations to target. Let's say United States and Canada. Okay, if we wanted to, we could really drill down. We could do some geo-targeting, use radiuses, and put pins in the map and that sort of thing. States, cities, We really get very refined here, but we're just going to go with North America here, okay? Now, United States and Canada. We're going to go with English as our language. We're going to deselect French, okay? I think it automatically went with French because we chose Canada, and that's one of the main languages up there. Audiences. We don't have existing audiences in this scenario, okay? If you did have audiences, you could incorporate those into your ad campaign in various ways, and that's based on retargeting pixels and audiences that you've built and customized and saved in the past. Since we're kind of starting from scratch, we're going to pretend we don't have any audiences, and we're just going to, attract our audience and our target market to our website to buy our product for the first time from scratch. Now, it's important to understand that this here is a monthly figure under budget. So what this means is, on average, you'll spend this each day based on the total that's spent over the course of a month. Does that kind of make sense? So if you put 10 here, you could be seeing numbers like $20 per day some days and $5 a day other days. But it will average out to this amount per day total by the end of a month. Okay, so just keep that in mind when you're setting your budget, and don't be surprised if this actually fluctuates up and down from one day to the next. Now, bidding, you can choose multiple options for what you want to focus on. Conversions is recommended because that's the most important thing. You want people to take a specific action, right? And the best way to actually gauge this is to ensure that you've got your pixels and all that good stuff on your websites, so your web developer will be given a little snippet of code that you can put on your pages, and you want to focus the bidding on people who are most likely to convert and successfully take a desired action on your web property rather than just sending clicks to your website, okay? Although that's also an option as well, depending on your goals, okay? So this campaign is going to use the maximize conversions bid strategy to help you get the most conversions out of your budget, just like it says right there. Now, the next couple options here are a little bit more advanced. You've probably seen these in the results on a Google search engine results page. For example, you've got sub pages underneath a main website result. You've got other pages, for, say, help or pricing or something like that. Links that you can click on within the ad. Sometimes there'll be a phone number there that you can click on and digitally call someone right there from inside of the ad on the search engine results page. So those are pretty cool. We're not going to mess with those right now, although they are proven, as you can see, to get higher click-through rates when you add these features. But we're going to stay sort of bare bones as we move through this for this example. Now, the next step here is going to be to set up your ad groups with keywords that you're targeting for these search advertising campaigns. Now, we went with diabetesbegone.com, and it actually started pulling keywords based on that domain. Now, the reality is, we don't have to look it up, but as you can see, there is no diabetes-related website at that domain, and so instead it's just giving us domain hosting-related stuff that it found when it crawled and went to that URL. There's probably one of those parked sites there with a GoDaddy or some other registrar saying, hey, you can buy this domain if you want, or something along those lines. So we don't really want to focus on this too much. In fact, let's get rid of this so that's no longer considered. Now let's just type in glucose monitor, blood glucose. Let's go with those two keywords first. And now let's try monitor. See what we come up with. So basically, Google is going to be recommending, certain keywords that might result in people who are looking for your product, finding your product. You can add as many of these as you want to that ad group, and that particular ad group is going to focus on those keywords. You could also create a new ad group here if you wanted to, and with that new ad group, you could go out and do your own keyword research inside of the Google Keyword Planner, for example, where you could take words like this, and it'll tell you, on average, on a monthly basis, how often people search for those keywords, and you can sort of prioritize which ones you want to stick into which ad group based on that information. But right here, I think we have enough to go with to move forward. So let's move on to actually creating the ad itself. And this little box right here just means that it wants us to use the most secure version of the URL as possible. And I've got some pre-written copy here that we can stick into the ad, and we'll see it change right here as we stick these things into these respective fields. And you got to pay close attention to characters here. As you can see, that one's actually a little bit too long. So it's 30 seconds per little segment of your headline here. 30 words, I should say, excuse me. And they have expanded it quite a bit. There's a third headline option now. You can have 2 description copy lines there if you want. So they have gotten a little bit beefier over the last year or so. But that is pretty much it. That's our successful ad. Okay, you've got the final URL that they're going to be going to, which is displayed in the ad itself, right next to the word ad. You've got the headlines, which are really where you're trying to get people's attention and call people out in the blue letters there. And you've got the description underneath. As you can see, it looks very much like a search engine result. This is the desktop version. It looks just like a search engine result, except the word ad is right there, and you're paying money to make sure that people actually see it instead of having it down on page 5001. So we'll hit save and continue here, and we'll hit save, and this will bring us to our summary page where we can have a look at all of the different data about our campaign and confirm that we're okay with everything and that we're ready to go forward. We would hit continue to campaign, and then basically our ad would be live, from which point on we can analyze and assess which keywords are performing best and remove some and focus more on the ones that are performing better, that sort of thing. Monitor, items like your average cost per click as well as your conversion rates. And it's a good thing to keep an eye on in the early days so you can make sure that your ad is shaping up to produce the results and the return on investment that you're hoping to get out of putting money into Google Ads. Now, in the next module, we're going to be revisiting Google Ads, but this time for banner ads after we've gone through the process of creating a banner ad creative.
All right, welcome to Module 3. In this module, our expert will teach you how to create and run banner ads. So get ready to take some notes and let's jump right in.
All right, so our first stop when creating a banner ad is going to be Bannersnack. Bannersnack is an awesome cloud-based software where you can create multiple banners in different sizes and dimensions all at once. After clicking Create New, it's going to give us 2 options, Make a Design or Generate Set. We're going to choose Generate Set. That way we can crank out a whole bunch of different sizes and dimensions without having to individually create each one from scratch. Now, animated is very cool. You can use HTML5 technology to have elements on your ads move around while you're creating them. The whole creation process is mostly the same with the exception of adding animations. For example, you want this picture to swoop in from the left and the text to come up from the bottom, that sort of thing. It's very self-explanatory. We're going to stick with static since most banner ads do tend to be static. And we'll choose Start with Static, and we will pick the different sizes that we want for our banner ad campaign. So let's go with medium rectangle, large rectangle, square, and portrait. And let's throw in wide skyscraper too, just so we can see how it turns out. We'll go to next. And we could start with one of these templates, which are actually pretty cool, but let's actually build this one from scratch, just to give you a better, more thorough experience with the whole design process. So the first thing we're going to need is sort of a core image. Now I've got an image here. I'm going to come over to New Layer and add. Actually, we'll come up here to My Uploads and we'll grab the image from here. And this is just an image of a gal who clearly has some weight loss elements in there. So you got the apple for healthy eating, you got the measuring tape for weight loss, all that good stuff. So this is a good general, generic weight loss image that we can use for our banner ad. And as you can see, it's already put in the ads for us. All we have to do is individually move her around just a little bit. So in the, we'll continue to the next step there. Let's see. Let's generally say that we want her on the bottom edge of each ad, so we have to move her around less. And we'll go ahead and apply and continue. We could theoretically move forward from here, but let's go ahead and offset her a little bit. So for this one, let's move her over here, and let's increase the size a little bit. So crop and zoom and all that good stuff. And come back over here. We'll do the same thing here. a little bit bigger, off to the left a little bit. Same thing here, a little bit bigger. It's a little bit too big actually for that size. There we go. And for these ones here, I think these are actually pretty good. We could make her fill up a little bit more of the space if we wanted to, but I think it looks okay as it is. Now the next element is going to be text, right? So we'll come over here, new layer, and we'll put a headline here. And you know what, we'll just say something kind of generic like time to lose some weight. We will apply and customize. And what we'll do is we'll make this, let's say, red. Okay, everything else looks okay, so now let's get into individually adjusting the position inside of each ad. That works for me. We'll come out of here. Same thing over here. Same thing here. And same thing there. And finally, it's a good idea to add a call to action of some sort. So we'll just have a button, and we'll make it, let's say, bright blue, and we'll write, let's say, click here, pretty standard call to action. Continue to the next step, and we'll put it at the bottom of each ad. And we will apply and customize. If we wanted to, we could go through here and sort of move it off into a better position for each ad, which might be a good idea for some of them. Not really necessary for all of them because it doesn't look too bad. It contrasts with the background enough that that actually looks just fine. So I think we're good here. So let's go ahead and save all. We'll call it Wait 1. Okay. Hit save. And then we can come here when we're back at the dashboard. Click download. And since we didn't really do the animated thing, these ones don't really apply to us. We'll just go with JPEG. We'll download those, and now we can move them into our Google display ad that we're going to create inside of Google Ads. So let's go ahead and click New. And we'll click on New Campaign. And this time, let's say we want to go for just website traffic. Okay, get people to a diet or fitness-related landing page. And this time, instead of choosing search, we're going to go with display, because we have a banner ad, right? 3 options to choose from. We can do display ads that actually show inside of people's Gmail accounts. We have smart display campaigns, which take a whole bunch of dynamic variables into account. And then we just have the standard one. We'll do standard for now. And this time we'll use the same URL as last time. I'll just paste that here and continue. And we've kind of already been through this process in the previous module. Same basic thing, right? You can target pretty much anywhere in the world. We'll go with just the United States for this one. Target any languages. Focus on anything. In our case, we want to focus on conversions, which is always a good idea. Automatically maximize conversions versus manually setting your bids, which if you are more familiar with Google Ads and you understand the math and the concepts behind it, you're a little bit more advanced, certainly do it manually. Also, if you understand the math of your sales funnel, Okay, let's say it's not a new sales funnel. You've got a whole bunch of data existing on this sales funnel. You understand the initial order value, the average cart value of everybody who comes through. And so you understand how much you can afford to spend per conversion and so on. You could certainly adjust that, but we'll just stick with automatically maximize conversions and let Google do the heavy lifting math-wise. And let's see, our budget, daily budget. I'll reiterate like I did in the previous module. This does not mean a cap on what you'll spend every day. Rather, it means that this will be the average you have spent over the course of a month. So take this number and multiply it by 30, and that's basically what you're telling Google you can spend over the next 30 days. Okay, but the actual daily amount might fluctuate up or down from this number. Now, down here in the ad group portion, what we can try and do is search for people who are interested in losing weight. And remember, this is not like the search ad that we did in the previous module. We're not targeting specific keywords. So we're actually, instead of waiting for people to come to us looking for what we have to offer, the whole context has changed with the display ad here. Now we're going out and finding people based on maybe past indications to Google of their interests and bringing them to us, letting them know that we're here. So we have to actively go in here and figure out who it is exactly who we are targeting. So we could come over here to, let's say, sports and fitness, for example. Could be useful to target people in the food and dining realm. Let's go with sports and fitness and see what kind of subgroups. Okay, so we've got the health and fitness buffs sports group here. Okay, which gives us a pretty significant and sizable potential, range of impressions in the United States. Go ahead and come down here now to demographics. Just like with the Facebook ad, if we had existing customer research or audience research about our target market, let's say we wanted to focus primarily on females with this one, since we have a female in the ad, for example. We want to rule out these age groups because our customer research tells us that these are the ones that are a little bit more hot when it comes to interest in diet and fitness. And parental status and household income don't really matter, so we could leave that the way it is there. And we could also use this feature here where Google will actually, based on what you said above, it will actually expand your reach by trying to find audiences that are similar to the targeting settings that you set above, which may or may not be worth it. Next is the actual ad itself. We're going to upload some display ads. Actually, the first thing we should do is grab them and bring them out of the zip file that we downloaded from Bannersnack. Get that out of the way. Upload display ads, and we'll go to choose files to upload. And let's go ahead and find there we go, there's our folder. And let's grab all of these, open. Alright, there's our 5 ads. And again, we have that warning about the secure version of the URL. Okay, so we've got that, and there we go. We've got 5 different banner ads in different dimensions, so these will be able to go into different, a variety of spots on websites that utilize Google's display network, and we'll be able to get this in front of some people who are interested in losing some weight. We'll go ahead and click Create Campaign. And that'll bring us to the summary page, just like last time. We can review all the different parameters of our ads. And now we can go to Continue Campaign and monitor the results as they start to come in.